many students find it very difficult to understand. Students have this, amongst the students they talk about Bayes theorem and they say this is the most difficult of all the topics that we study in probability, but it's not like that. I'll tell you how. First of all I'll define the theorem, and then I'll take 2-3 examples. You'll be very comfortable in this theorem also. Let's start. It says if there are n number of events which are exhaustive, that is B1, B2, B2, Bn are exhaustive events, and if A is the event that correspond to these exhaustive events. For example, in a factory, let's say 30% of product is manufactured by machine B1, then 60% of the whatever is being manufactured is from machine B2, and the rest, that is 10%, by machine B3. So these are the exhaustive events. These are 3 machines, and the total output that we have from the factory, we have 30% from machine B1, 60% from machine B2, and 10-12% from machine B3. And let's say the event A, what is this event? This is the event of production of a defective item. Let's say 5% of the product that is being manufactured by machine 1 is defective, 3% from B2 is defective, and let's say 4% from B3 is defective. So this is what we mean by B1, B2, Bn, and this is the event of a production of a defective piece. Just I have given you an example. So now I'll define Bayes theorem. So it says that we can find the probability of B when A has already happened by this formula, which is probability of B. I'm writing I to say 1 to n, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to n. This into P, A or Bi, we have these 2 values. Then we can find this value by summation of these. That is, I give you an example that there are 3 machines and producing certain percentage of the total output, and the defect percent is also there. This is the probability that particular machine has produced it. This is the probability of getting a defect from that machine. So if we have these 2 values, we can find if we get a defective piece, then what is the probability that that product was manufactured from that machine. This is Bayes theorem. Let's see an example. You get this, write it down, and I'll explain you by giving you an example. First question is, it says in a college 60% of the students are girls. Let's say this is boys, this is girls. So we have 0.4, the probability of, if we select a student, then the probability of getting a boy is 0.4, and 0.6 is the probability of getting girl, because 60% are girls. Okay, so this is our PBI, probability of that exhaustive event. This is 0.4 and then 0.6. Now 4% of boys are taller than 6 feet, while 1% of girls are taller than 6 feet. So our event is person who is taller than 6 feet in height. So we have this probability given. It says 4% of the boys are greater than 6 feet. So 4%, that is 0.04. and 1% of girls are taller than 6 feet, 0.01. The question is, if we randomly pick a student and the student is found to be greater than 6 feet, that is A. The student is satisfying the event A. What is the probability that he is a boy or a girl? So we have to find the probability of that student to be a boy and probability of that student to be a girl. How will we do that? PBI, PABI. And in Bayes theorem we had seen that in the denominator we have to combine this. So first of all, let's multiply this. PBI into PA by BI. This is the numerator of the Bayes theorem formula. This is 0.4 into 0.04. This will be let's say this is 100 by 100. We multiply it by 100. So what we will get? 160 by 10 to the power 4. Okay? Similarly, this is 60 by 10 to the power 4. 2 times. So this is the probability. The summation of these two probabilities will be 160 plus 60, 220, 220 by 10 to the power 4. So by Bayes theorem, we know that, okay, let me do this here only. Bayes theorem is what? Probability of BI. We have selected one student, what is the probability of that student to be a boy and a girl? So this is equal to PBI into PABI by summation of this thing. This is Bayes theorem. So what is this? This will be 160 by 10 to the power 4 by summation. This is 220 by 10 to the power 4. Okay? This will be 60 by 10 to the power 4 by 220 by 10 to the power 4. 10 to the power 4, 10 to the power 4 cancels. This is 16 by 22, that is 8 by 11. So our probability is 8 by 11. And here probability will be 3 by 11. So if one student is selected at a random, then the probability of that student to be a boy is 8 by 11. And the probability of that student to be a girl is 3 by 11. So this is how we find Bayes theorem. Not very tough. Now we will take, here we have taken 2 exhaustive events. Now we will take 3 exhaustive events and understand it. Our second example is, it says we have a factory producing bolts and we have 3 machines that produce bolt. We have machine A, then we have machine B, and then we have machine C. It says machine A produces 25% of the bolts, machine B produces 35% of the bolts, and machine C produces the remaining, that is 40% of the bolts. So what is the probability of getting a bolt when, if we just take out one bolt, what is the probability that it was manufactured by A? These are the exhaustive events, and PA is 0.25, PB is 0.35, and this is 0.4. Okay? Now it says the probability, now we are talking of event A. Event A is probability of getting a defective item, that is defective bolt. So it says the probability of getting a defective bolt from A is 5%, from B is 4%, and from C is 2%. So what we get? Probability PABI. A is the event of getting a defective bolt. So when it has produced the probability is 5%, that is 0, 5, this is 4% and this is 2%. Then let's take the value. What is the question? The question is, if we take out a bolt and it is found to be defective, then find the probabilities of getting it from A, B and C. That is, what is the probability that the bolt was manufactured by machine 1 or the bolt was manufactured by machine B, or the probability that the bolt was manufactured by machine C. So how we do that? We take this, we multiply these. So what we will get? We will get 5 into 5, that is 125 by 10 to the power 4, same style. 35 into 4, that is 140 by 10 to the power 4, and this is 80 by 10 to the power 4. So summation, if we add all these, what we will get? 125 plus 140 plus 80. 140 plus 80 is 220, and this is 345. So this is 345 by 10 to the power 4. Okay. So what we have to find? We have to find by A. This we have to find. Let's see what it will be. This will be this by this, so that will be 125 by 345. We know that 10 to the power 4 will cancel out. So this is 140 by 345 and this is 80 by 345. What we get? So after calculating, this is 25 by 69, this is 28 by 69, this is 16 by 69. So I am just summarizing it. We have 3 machines in the factory that produce bolts. Try to understand this properly so you will understand Bayes theorem. We have a factory where we have 3 machines, A, B, C, and 25% of bolts are produced by machine A, 35% of bolts are produced by machine B, and the rest 40% of the bolts are produced by machine C. So this is, if we take a bolt, the probability of that bolt manufactured from machine A is 0.25, from machine B is 0.35, and machine C is 0.4. This is PVN. Now, we have A as an event of getting a defective bolt. So, getting a defective bolt from machine A is 5%, 0.05. Getting a defective bolt from machine B is 4%. And getting a defective bolt from machine C is 4%. So, 2%. Now, the question is, out of a lot of bolts, we have so many thousands and millions of bolts, we take out one bolt and it satisfies the event, A, that is, the bolt is defective. The question is, find the probability that the bolt was manufactured by machine A. Second, find the probability that the bolt was manufactured by machine B. And third, find the probability that the bolt was manufactured by machine C. So what we did, we had these values, we calculated, and finally what we got is that if the bolt was defective, the probability is 25 by 69 that the bolt was manufactured by machine A. Similarly, the probability is 28 by 69 that the machine was manufactured by, that the bolt was manufactured by machine B. And it's 16 by 69. The probability is 16 by 69 that the defective bolt was manufactured by C. So this is Bayes theorem. Very good theorem. Solve 2-3 problems and you will be very confident. Okay.